Hey everybody, we're here with another interview with my granddaughter Natlaya. Natlaya wants to interview me about my latest book. I got another one coming out soon. It's I Can't Find Your Boyfriend or Your Keys. I hope, I know a lot of you got it. I hope you're enjoying it. If you don't have it, you can get it anywhere. Bookstores, Amazon, wherever. Okay?
This was the thing. So, Bobby.
Yeah.
What made you write this book?
I write books that there are stories about what I do and my clients, okay? And sessions I have with my clients. So I write the book so that people can see who I am, what I do, and it might be able to help them to reach out to me for information or get through something they need to get through. Okay?
How do you write a book?
It's tough. Writing a book is a long, hard process. It's not easy. Okay, I sit down at a computer for months and I take stuff that I've done. I write the story. Then once the story's done, it goes to an editor. When the editor's done with it, it goes to my publisher. My publisher sends it to the printer, which is Ingram. My publisher's Veloso Publishing out in Van Nuys, California, and he uses Ingram as a distributor. So it's all legit, all on the up and up.
What would you say is the easiest part of making a book?
When I send it to the publisher and he sends it to the printer and it's done, that's the easiest part.
Do you make books what do you make books about? What is your main idea?
Well, the books are about what I do, being a caul bearer, and when I talk to souls and I talk to clients, that's what most of my books are. I also have a couple of photography books that I did, and I have a romance novel that I wrote.
What is it called?
It's called The Lunch.
Why?
I don't know. It's because you know what happened? I had lunch with somebody. This is a long time ago, and
that's how you fell in love.
No, this is a friend. We had an artist group, and this artist group, we'd go and do, shows. So myself and one of the other artists who were running it at the time, we get together and talk about it. And we got together one day, and she was opening up to me, and I didn't realize she was opening up to me. And then I sat down to write one-page observation. And I got to tell you something. Something happened to me. Something took me over. Okay? And it was like a movie playing, and I couldn't get out of me fast enough. And the whole thing turned into this story about a couple and then past life experiences, which means it's kind of two books in one, which shows that they were soulmates. Okay?
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Why did you name it I Can't Find You a Boyfriend or Your Keys, even though you wrote a romance novel?
Good question. Okay? The reason I wrote that, because a lot of my clients, not a lot, some of my clients will ask me, am I ever going to find a boyfriend? And you know what? I don't know. I can't find a boyfriend or something. What's going to or a girlfriend, by the way, just I don't want to be, but the truth is that the answer is usually when you fix yourself. That's when you'll find somebody.
How do you fix yourself?
Well, you got to work on yourself. You got to make yourself a better person. Sometimes people are worriers. Sometimes people are very anxious, have a lot of anxiety, get nervous. You have to be, not be really all about you. You have to be about the other person. It's a compromise. And some people don't know how to do that yet.
Well, in the last one, we were talking about spirits. Have you ever wrote a book about that?
About spirits? Well, there's a little bit, I call them souls. And there's every book I write it's about souls that come to me and talk to me. Okay? However, you and I just went to Fort William Henry in Lake George. Do you remember that? Was that fun?
No.
No? You didn't like it? It was a haunted tour, folks, in Lake George. We were up there. And,
Wait. Well, and there was some in the tour at the end of it. Bob, you said that you were filming down there and something hit your camera. What did it look like? What were you filming when it hit your camera?
well, what happened was I was just filming to see if I could get orbs or spirits, okay? And all of a sudden, my camera went from being very sharp focused to out of focus, then back into focus again. And that was around the surgery, where they did surgery. And I got the day after. That was the surgeon didn't want me to watch the surgery, so he blocked my camera. He made it, I got out of focus.
I mean, I feel like that's a good thing. Nobody wants to see people's lights getting cut.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. And that's what they did. That was the Revolutionary War, folks. They amputated legs because they didn't know any better.
And die and...
What? I'm sorry to hear you. You done?
Well, how long was it for your thing to get, for your camera to get out of focus?
It was just a second, split second. And then you know what happened? The
What?
video disappeared off my camera. Now, I talked to the woman who runs the tours, and she told me when she goes down there, her phone, I was using a cell phone by the way, not this video camera, her battery goes dead when she's down there.
Well, does it happen all of a sudden and then it turns back to 100, like 1%? Oh wait, never mind, it's 100 again. So sorry,
Yeah,
it's
basically that's what it was. It's 100%, then 0, then 100%. That's what happened.
Doesn't that just give you the heebie-jeebies?
I didn't hear what you said. Oh, the camera's got to hear you.
You couldn't hear me either.
Who did the pictures in the back of that book? Who did the pictures of Danielle and Mom in the back of that book?
Brandon, Hulk, and me.
That's right.
And who did the last one?
I put that on my car and we took it a selfie. That's a selfie of me and Frankie. Frankie was a client of mine. Frankie was on a show. We got an interview with Frankie on this channel. So if you want to look for Frankie and my interview, take a look. Keep going. We did it a while ago. He was a client for a long time.
Will you put it in the link in the description?
No, I don't have to. They'll have to find it. All right. Okay. I'll put it in. Yeah, she's right. Okay.
Which soul is most interesting to you? Like, which soul caught you by surprise? Like, wow, it's such a cool way how they it's so sad, or it's so cool how they passed away. They passed away through a hero. That's a really interesting story, and stuff like that. Which one is caught you like that?
Well, I did house clearing, okay, and a soul came to me. He didn't tell me how he passed. Usually, 98% of the time when it's house clearing, the soul is somebody that the people knew, family member, friend, okay? And what happened was, this soul was there for the children. And he was moving things in a house, and they called me, and I went in to see who was there. And I told them who he was, and they said, when I told them he was there for the kids, they said he could stay. They were happy. They asked me, he was a funny guy, okay? They asked me, did he push their mother? I was talking to a mother and her daughter. He asked me if they pushed a grandmother or, the mother, her woman's mother down the stairs. I said, no, she hit the front of the stairs like that with a foot and she slipped and fell. He said, but he wishes he did because she was a bitch. And the two of them started laughing very loud because then they said, oh, he is so right, he can stay.
He said all that?
And he said all that.
Well, you said that usually it's a relative or a friend that somebody knows, but you, with me, you said that there was a spirit in my room, and it was a little girl. Well, did you know any little girls, or does anybody know any little girls?
No, I think she's an old soul that's around you. Okay, she's watching out for you to make sure you're safe and you're happy. Okay. I don't know what's her name? Did I tell you her name?
I forgot. I was doing this with my friends. Like, the first second I meet them, they say like, "Hi, my name is Amber." "Oh, hi Amber, I'm Natlaya." 5 seconds later. What's your name again? Amber. Sorry, I always forget. It's okay. Why do you do this to me?
Why what? Well, she's around you. She's a funny little girl and fun. Okay? She probably died many years ago, probably over 100 years ago. And she's probably died in the area where you live. And she just attached herself to you because you're a loving little girl. And she likes you. That's what they do.
Have you ever met like any creepy spirits? Not like bad spirits, like I'm gonna hurt your entire family.
No, that's only in the movies and TV. That doesn't exist. I don't want to scare people, but that's a myth. Okay, I don't care what anybody tells you. When evil's here and it passes, it goes to the dark and it doesn't come out again. And I really don't know any evil souls. I've had some mischievous souls. I had one woman call me, and that's also here somewhere. She called me. She said, I woke up this morning to a man in my room. He went over, looked out the window, and he walked past me. So I went to see it. It turned out it was her father, who she didn't know. Her father left when she was a girl. And she had been thinking about him a lot for like 2 weeks, and he showed up and had me come. See, they reach out to me. They get me there somehow. And she got messages from her dad. And the messages were important to her.
Since you didn't let me finish, have you ever met any evil, like, not evil souls? Like, not, I'm gonna take your family and throw them in a dumpster and ha, take that. And, like, I met, like, have you ever met any souls that are like,
No, they don't exist. That's all make-believe.
Oh, I meant, like, have you ever met any souls that have been, that, like, did something bad in their life, and they are just, like, around now, and they still do a little mischief here and there, like?
No, I don't believe. I believe that people that did bad here go to the dark. They don't come out of the dark. They stay there. So they can't come to us and do anything to us.
Which book that you made is your favorite?
The one you're holding. That's my favorite so far. Because it's got some humor in it. And it's my latest book. I've developed a little bit further. That's my favorite. The next one I'm doing now is going to be just as funny. It's not comedy. It's humorous. You have to keep a sense of humor, folks. It's real important. Have a sense of humor no matter what in this life, because it gets you through life. It gets you through the hard times, and it gets you through the difficult times, and it helps you get through them better.
I read a little bit of your book, and I read a part of it. The only part I got to was when there were these people, like there was a fire in their house, and something happened where their kid they were in their house or something. I forgot. What do you think about that? Like people covering it up.
People covering up, afraid to say what happens, like any particular thing. Well, people don't want to accept that there's something more than this life. Okay, so they'll say, they'll try to find a reasonable explanation as to why things happen, but very often they can't because there are no explanations.
Except ghosts.
Except for ghosts, yeah. They're souls. The souls they're here to protect us. They're here for us. At least that's what I see as a call bearer. I don't see any bad souls. And if you got somebody saying that they see bad souls, you want to stay away from that person because I don't think they really are being honest with you.
And I watched this YouTube video about like how psychics they aren't real, and they're like a bunch of fakes, and like how people will lie to you and say that people are here, and they're like, and somebody's here, and like stuff like that. And
okay, what they're talking about, I know what you're talking about. There are a lot of people, folks, that are fakes. They really are. Probably 98% of the people that say they do this don't have any gifts at all. So they tell you stuff, but what they're doing is they're questioning you, or they try to read up on you, or they try to Google you. And I address Google in my new book, my next book, so watch out for it. Hopefully in the next few months it'll come out. So then they're asking a lot of leading questions. People are answering the questions, and people eventually know it's not real. Okay, but they try to paint all of us with that broad brush, and I can tell you I don't do that because it hurts people. When you hurt people, it's not right, especially this. They expect you to be honest. They're looking for some sort of relief, some sort of knowledge that their loved one is okay, is still around, and is in a good place. And to do that to people is just not fair.
well, how do we know that you're not doing it? Like what happened?
What do you mean? Well, I'm not doing it. When I go into a session, I ask people absolutely do not tell me anything. Any question I ask, which is usually the question I'll usually ask is, does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me when I'm telling people stuff. It doesn't have to. It only has to make sense to my clients. Please just say yes, no, maybe. Do not expand on that, because I'm getting information from the souls, and if I'm about to tell somebody something, and I ask them, well, did that make sense to you? And they said yes, but, and then it could take me out of where I was going. It's very important that they be quiet until a certain point, and then once we hit that certain point, I'll let them talk.
Well, like when did you learn how to speak to ghosts?
I've had it since I was a baby. I was born with a veil. But I really learned how to do this with other people about 15 years ago.
Are you gonna make that your next book about like I think I have a great next book idea. So it could be a book about like 15. It could be like how it started, my journey to.
Oh, that how it started is already in my first book. They Speak Through Me. I talk about how I came out 15 years ago. I do talk about that. That's a chapter in the book. Okay.
And like it could be called How It Started, and like it starts with 15 years ago. I was when I was a boy.
15 years ago, I was more than a boy. I was an old man back then. Anyway, go ahead. and
then talk to ghosts, and ghosts would talk to me.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. I brought a healer to do a healing on a little boy, and he called the medium on the way home, and asked her what she saw in healing, and she told me that I had to start doing this, and I told her no, I couldn't. And we had an argument. She was right and I was wrong. Simple as that. All right. Okay, that's it. Let's wrap it.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye. Subscribe.